welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie, and we're into our last week of January, and as we head into February, we thought it would be fun to do short month, short books. So we're going to feature some novellas today. So Jill, kick us off.
Okay, so a lot of mine are kind of creepy. I find it's a good space for novellas. This is At Night, All Blood is Black by David Diop, and Anna Mokshofis is the translator. This was published in 2018. Alpha Nayud is a Senegalese man who never before having left his village finds himself fighting as a so-called chocolat soldier with the French army during World War I. When his friend Madima Diop in the same regiment is seriously injured in battle, Diop brings Alpha to kill him and spare him the pain of a long and agonizing death in no man's land. Unable to commit to this mercy killing, madness creeps into Alpha's mind as he comes to see this refusal as a cruel moment of cowardice. Anxious to avenge the death of his friend and find forgiveness for himself, he begins a macabre ritual. Every night he sneaks across enemy lines to find and murder a blue-eyed German soldier. And every night he returns to base, unharmed, with the German's severed hand. At first, his comrades look at Alpha's deeds with admiration, but I don't know why. But soon rumors begin to circulate that this super soldier isn't a hero, but a sorcerer, a soul eater. Plans are hatched to get Alpha away from the front and to separate from his growing collection of hands. But how does one reason with a demon? And how far will Alpha go to make amends to his dead friend? Peppered with bullets and black magic, this remarkable novel is in a forgotten chapter of the history of World War I, blending oral storytelling traditions with the gritty day-to-day journalistic horror of life in the trenches. Well, yeah.
Wow. Way to kick it off, Jill.
I know. I had such good news for February here.
Well, I'm starting out with Gothic horror, so, I think we've talked about this book before, but this is Shirley Jackson's We Have Always Lived in the Castle. This was published back in 1962. This is a beloved Gothic tale of a peculiar girl named Maricat and her family's dark secret. Takes readers deep into a labyrinth of dark neuroses, and it's a deliciously unsettling novel about a perverse, isolated, and possibly murderous family and the struggle that ensues when a cousin arrives at their estate. This edition that I have, which is Kimberly's book, features an afterword by Jonathan Lethem. Shirley Jackson is a popular author. She's known for her short story, The Lottery, which our short story group has read, and her popular book, The Haunting of Hill House. She often uses realistic settings that involve elements of horror and the occult in her writing. So We Have Always Lived in the Castle is my first pick.
Shirley Jackson. This one's another foreign author. This is Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata and Ginny Tapley Takamori. The English language debut of one of Japan's most talented contemporary writers, selling over 650,000 copies there. Convenience Store Woman is a heartwarming and surprising story of a 36-year-old Tokyo resident, Keiko Furakura. Keiko has never fit in, neither in her family nor in school, but when at the age of 18 she begins working at the Hiramachi branch of the Smile Mart, she finds peace and purpose in her life. In the store, unlike anywhere else, she understands the rules of social interaction. Many are laid out line by line in the store's manual, and she does her best to copy the dress, mannerisms, and speech of her colleagues, playing the part of a normal person excellently, more or less. Keiko is very happy, but the people close to her, from her family to her coworkers, increasingly pressure her to find a husband and start a proper career, prompting her to take desperate action. A brilliant depiction of a world hidden from view, Convenience Store Woman is an ironic and sharp-eyed look at the contemporary work culture and the pressures we all feel to conform, as well as charming and completely fresh portrait of an unforgettable heroine. So,
good pick.
Convenience Store Woman.
My second pick is Stephen King's The Life of Chuck, which was published in 2020. It was originally featured in the acclaimed story collection If It Bleeds, and it's a mind-bending tale, and it unfolds in reverse, taking readers through the extraordinary life of Charles Chuck Krantz. In a crumbling world plagued by natural disasters, collapsing infrastructure, and mass panic, bizarre billboards and advertisements appear throughout town. Charles Krantz, 39 great years. Thanks, Chuck. Marty Anderson, a school teacher, becomes obsessed with these messages as the world inexplicably linked to Chuck's life seems to be approaching its end. The story is told in 3 acts, presented in reverse order, and it explores Chuck's past. We see him in middle age on a business trip in Boston as he is seduced by a busker into spinning a gorgeous sidewalk dance. And we see him as a child in a house haunted by a terrible secret, learning to dance with his grandmother. In these pages, Stephen King reminds us that life's quotidian pleasures are often more glorious because they are fleeting. The outrageous good fortune of a beautiful blue day after a string of gray ones. The delight of dancing when every move feels perfect. A serendipitous meeting. Stephen King's ability to describe pure joy rivals his ability to terrify us. Now, a major motion picture and winner of the Toronto International Film Fest People's Choice Award, The Life of Chuck is a glorious story about community and about humanity at its best. It's a celebration of joy, mystery, existential wonder, and the multitudes contained in all of us. Tim and I, my husband and I, love the movie, and we look forward to reading the story. I bought him If It Bleeds for Christmas, so we would have this and a few of Stephen King's other short stories. And it's not a typical Stephen King sci-fi.
No.
Jill, you saw the movie too.
It's
great.
did.
Tom Hiddleston is great.
It's not horror. It's just totally different. I loved it. It's great. He's got an imagination. So this one I only knew from the movie. I didn't even know it was a short story, but then I found it and I got excited. I thought, this is a good one somebody's going to like. The Postman Always Rings Twice by James Can. This was published in 1934. An amoral young tramp, a beautiful sullen woman with an inconvenient husband, a problem that only has one grisly solution, a solution that only creates other problems that no one can ever solve. First published in 1934 and banned in Boston for its explosive mixture of violence and eroticism, The Postman Always Rings Twice is a classic of Roman noir. It established James Cain as a major novelist in an unsparing vision of America's bleak underside and was acknowledged by Albert Camus as the model for The Stranger. Postman Always Rings Twice.
My next pick is Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, and this was published in 2021. It is 1985 in a small Irish town. During the weeks leading up to Christmas, Bill Furlong, a coal merchant and his family man, faces into his busiest season. Early one morning, while delivering an order to the local convent, Bill makes a discovery which forces him to confront both his past and the complicit silences of a town which is controlled by the church. It's an international bestseller. It's a deeply affecting story of hope, quiet heroism, and empathy from one of our most critically lauded and iconic writers. So I'm always a sucker for all things Irish, so Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan.
And it's kind of a Christmas story.
Yeah.
This one is The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Caw. You may think you know how the fairy tale goes. A mermaid comes to shore and weds the prince. But what the fables forget is that mermaids have teeth, and now her daughters have devoured the kingdom and burned it to ashes. On the run, the mermaid is joined by a mysterious plague doctor with a darkness of their own. Deep in the eerie, snow-crusted forest, the pair stumble upon a village of ageless children who thirst for blood, and 3 saints who control them. The mermaid and her doctor must embrace the cruelest part of their true nature if they hope to survive. This also includes a bonus short story. This little tiny thing has a bonus short story.
Goodness. That's cute. You are dark with these picks.
A little bit. It seems to be a good space for that.
My fourth pick, popular author, Frida McFadden, and this is The Housemaid's Wedding. This was published in 2024. It's a winter-themed short story meant to fill in the long gap between Book 2 of the Housemaid series, which is The Housemaid's Secret, and Book 3, The Housemaid is Watching. So it can be read either between Book 2 and 3 or after Book 3. Today is supposed to be the happiest day of my life. I am engaged to the man of my dreams, and in a few short hours, I'm going to stand before a judge who will declare us husband and wife, till death does us part. Despite some bumps in the road, this day is everything I dreamed it would be. There's only one problem. Someone out there doesn't want me to live long enough to say my vows. And if I'm not careful, they may very well get their wish. Frida McFadden. Little one to stick in between book 2 and 3 or after book 3. And she's a fast read even for her regular fiction.
That one's going to be super fast. You could read it in an afternoon. Which is fun. It's fun to read a whole book in one day. So this is Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio. This is about a ragtag group of night shift workers who meet in a local cemetery to unearth the secrets lurking in an open grave. That sounds great. Every night in the college's ancient cemetery, 5 people cross paths as they work at the late shift. A bartender, a rideshare driver, a hotel receptionist, and a steward of the derelict church that looms over them, and the editor-in-chief of the college newspaper, which always in search of a story. One dark October evening in the defunct churchyard, they find a hole that wasn't there before. A fresh open grave where no grave should be, but who dug it and for whom? Before they go their separate ways, the gravedigger returns, and they trail him through the night. They realize he may be the key to the string of strange happenings around town that have made headlines the last few weeks, and they may be closer to the mystery than they thought. Atmospheric and eerie, with the ensemble cast her fans will love and delightfully familiar academic backdrop, Graveyard Shift is a modern Gothic tale in If We Were Villains author M.L. Rio's inimitable style. So that one sounded good. I feel like that would be a fun thing to do in college. Go in the graveyard.
My last one, popular book. This is a classic. This is Animal Farm by George Orwell. This was published back in 1945. A farm is taken over by its overworked, mistreated animals. With flaming idealism and stirring slogans, they set out to create a paradise of progress, justice, and equality. Thus, the stage is set for one of the most telling satiric fables ever penned, a razor-edged fairy tale for grown-ups that records the evolution from revolution against tyranny to totalitarianism, just as terrible. When Animal Farm was first published, Stalinist Russia was seen as its target. Today, it's devastatingly clear that wherever and whenever freedom is attacked, under whatever banner, the cutting clarity and savage comedy of George Orwell's masterpiece have a meaning and message which is still ferociously fresh. So, climax of the story is the brutal betrayal of Boxer. So, if you've never read Animal Farm, I suggest you read Animal Farm.
I didn't realize it was a short story. I think that might be my next read.
Yeah, so...
Well, if you're looking for a short book to get you through the next short month, it won't be as long as January.
I hope he gave you some good picks. These are pretty short, easily read in an afternoon. So, Jill and I thank you for watching our videos. You can find us on our Kimberly Public Library website, Facebook page, and YouTube channel. And until next time, happy reading, and here comes February. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.